Hey, horror fans, once again, it is me, the Horror Miser Manichi. It's time to review the latest found footage horror film from the Hell House series. This time it is Hell House Origins, the Carmichael Manor. Yes.
Don't fuck with them hoes.
Now, Hell House LLC Origins to Carmichael Manor is a 2023 American found footage horror film that was written and directed by Steve Cornetti. Now, the film stars Bridget Rose Petorita, Destiny Brown, James Lydell, and Gideon Berger. Now, in this particular film, a group of cold case investigators stay at the Carmichael Manor. After 4 nights, the group was never heard from again. Oh no. What was discovered in their footage is even more disturbing than anything found on the Hell House tapes. These people never learn, do they? When it comes to found footage horror films, horror fans, a few of them have found some success within horror fans in the horror community. Now, the films I'm talking about are Cloverfield, Creep, and the Activity film series. There are some of the found footage horror films that have some enjoyment when it comes to this subgenre. Most people, love the Cloverfield, and I believe 10 Cloverfield Lane, and in the Cloverfield Paradox. Of course, we have Creep, Creep 2, and then Creep 3, and of course, all the Paranormal Activity film series. A lot of people have enjoyed these particular brands of the found footage horror film subgenre. When American filmmaker Steve Cornetti gave us the found footage horror film Hell House LLC in 2015, basically it was your typical haunted house horror film, but most horror fans did enjoy it. Yes, it was told in the found footage style, sort of like a documentary, but people still enjoyed that particular brand of found footage in Hell House LLC. Now, this would lead Conetti to write and direct 2 sequels. We have Hell House LLC, The Abaddon Hotel in 2018, and then the Hell House LLC 3, Lake of Fire in 2019. So now Steven brings us his 4th film in his series, this time a prequel called Hell House LLC Origins, The Carmichael Manor. Ooh. Now, just like in all the movies in this film series, this is told via documentary style, where a reporter is interviewing several people regarding the events that happened a couple weeks ago. Now, in this case, a tragedy that takes place at the Carmichael Manor, where internet sleuth Margot and her girlfriend Rebecca are invited to stay several nights at the infamous manor. Apparently, some weird shit happened prior, I think back in 1989 at the manor where the Carmichaels, I believe their oldest daughter Margaret and Eleanor, their mother, was killed. Uh, the father Arthur and their son, I think Arthur and Patrick, their father Patrick and their son Arthur were disappeared and never seen from again. Now, of course, rumors about the manor being haunted come into play, and then eventually we get to see what happened to Margaret Rebecca and Margaret's brother Chase during the 5 days they spent in the manor. Basically, what we've seen before in this film is that during the documentary, we find someone had recorded everything that happened uh, during their stay at the during their stay at the Hell House at the Abaddon Hotel in the first 3 films. And here we get to see what happened to Margaret, Rebecca, and Chase during the 5 nights they stay at the Carmichael Hotel. Manor, I meant to say. Now, for this particular film, we have a different location other than the Abaddon Hotel, and we don't have another group of people trying to put on a play at a known haunted hotel. This is totally different than what we've seen in the first 3 films. However, despite this change in the setting and some aspects of the story, it's still the same premise that Steven and the filmmakers have used in the previous films in this series. In the first 3 films, everyone is excited at first, but then when the weird shit starts to happen, everyone starts to freak out. They make bad decisions, putting everyone's life in danger. So that particular aspect in all 3 films is basically the same that we get in this particular film, only though we do have a limited cast. Now, in order for this type of setup to work, especially when you have a limited cast, the characters have to be likable. And at least for this part, Margot and Rebecca are very likable. Actresses Pitcher Parada and Destiny Brown, they have great chemistry together, and you do believe that they have affection for another. They do care for the one being, and you believe that they love each other. So at least that aspect of the film is believable, and you're hoping nothing bad happens to them, but something bad did happen to them. Now, I also like the relationship between Margot and her brother Chase as we get to learn some more about their backstory and how it affected their lives, and how that incident fueled Margot's drive to solve not only the mysteries on their internet site, but this mystery at the manor as well. I like that little backstory that comes into play, sort of builds more her motivations, the reason why she does the thing that she does. Now, just like in the previous films, even though he has a limited cast, Steven and his crews still created a very creepy and in times scary atmosphere, taking advantage of the size of the manor. Now, the Abaddon Hotel wasn't as large as the manor, but that still had creepy effects, especially in the basement. And here, there are certain rooms in the manor that do give a certain very creepy vibe. Something bad happened in this particular place, and there are certain scenes that take place, and Steven and his filmmakers, they take advantage of that. There is a very creeping and frightening scene that takes place right around the second act of the film, and no, I felt that was a very, very great moment. I like how they film it. I like how Steven and his filmmakers blend in the recording of the tapes and how it blends in every time when there's a problem, and that really draws in the frightening aspect about what's happening here, and we get more of that towards the end of the film as well. So I really thought that was they did a good job with that. I guess for Steven and his filmmakers, if it's not broke, you don't fix it. And this movie is basically the same movie that we saw in the original. There's really nothing new here. There's really nothing bold or anything different. It's basically the same thing that we've seen in all the previous films. Now, I will give him credit for adding in the subplot about what really happened to the Carmichaels and how that mystery plays into the events that took place in the first movie. So I guess that's what he was trying to do. Um, really doesn't had any effect to me. It's a very minor. I guess you could say something minor as far as what we saw what happened in the first film that happens in this particular film because of a certain someone that actually was at worked at the Abaddon Hotel. I guess that sort of kind of plays into the fact, but it really doesn't do anything else other than the movie. I thought it was an interesting idea, but it doesn't. It's not a gotcha moment. I mean, overall, it's not a bad horror movie. Like I said, you have some interesting jump scares. The film is cinematography is great. It looks very well. The acting is very good. I like all three actors and their performances. Like I said, I thought the lead actresses did a good job. I thought the actor playing Chase was pretty good right there. It's not a bad movie. It's just that we've seen this before, Steven. How about trying something different than what we've seen before? It's just the same thing we saw in all the movies in this franchise. So I'm going to give Hell House LLC Origins the Carmichael Manor only 2 out of my 5 bloody gold coins. Like I said, it's not a bad horror movie. We got some decent scares. We had some scary moments in here, but it's basically the same thing that we've seen in the previous movies. There's really nothing new added on. I don't see how some horror fans might like this better than the other 2 sequels right there. But to me, this is just the same as what we saw in the first movie, the second movie, the third movie, and now this one. Really nothing more to it's just, I say, just watch it once and have fun, and then that's it. So there you have it, guys. That is my review and video for Hell House LLC Origins, the Carmichael Manor. I hope you did enjoy it. And if you did, please give it a thumbs up, like, and share because it really helps out with that YouTube algorithm. Have you seen this latest version of the Hell House LLC film series? What do you thought about it? Leave your comments in the comment section below and tell me what you thought about the film. Also, if you're new here, please hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell. That way we notify anytime when I put a new video such as this one. Once again, my name is Lamont Smith, better known as the Horror Miser Monty G, and always remember that horror rules. I see you in my next video. That guy stay safe out there.